All right, let's start this. I'm running a little late. Let's see if this works. Yep, let's start this. Totally works. Let's get going. I'm gonna move to the mic a little. So, this is awesome. The last time I left off, I did a little work this weekend, and there was super huge progress. So let me just kind of review and start up, kind of wake up. Where's my coffee? Let me wake up and start up and kind of update. Let's maybe start my editor. Okay. So to update, here we are. Basically, Chatfield is a sort of side quest from a larger project about AI. Chatfield is just asking, or is just solving the problem of collecting uh, specific information, like, for example, any web form kind of information through a conversational process. And furthermore, then to structure that information that's been captured or extracted into any convenient way that an application might need. For example, here you see validation rules. Later on, you'll see transformations. Yeah, you can convert. You can say, I want this field as an integer. I want this salary as a float. Yeah, exactly. So then you can get typecasting and so forth. So that's chat field. You're chatting with your field. And as a reminder, I'm on YouTube here streaming because it's so easy, and I'm enjoying like this new layer to the open source experience. People come by, people chat with me in chat. People talk about AI and getting started in programming and all this. So although it's on YouTube and it's streaming, it's more of like a Zoom professional standards than than like YouTube professional standards, meaning it's I'm just logging in, pairing up, documenting every keystroke of this, every moment of this. I don't do any prep offline to make it more catchy and entertaining, unfortunately. Um, this is just 100% of the work that I've put into this open source work, in this case, Chatfield right now. So we're going to carry on. Mm-hmm. Feel like I could tweak my tweak my my little headline here a little bit. Let's try just moving the whoops, moving it down. That's kind of cool. That's better. Okay. So then let's get into Chatfield. What I had done was, and I need to update the readme. These readmes are not great, but what I want to do is get this all working in 3 programming environments: Python, and also TypeScript or JavaScript on the server side, and also TypeScript and JavaScript on the browser. So browser's coming up. In fact, where I left off yesterday, browser was my sort of big priority. Here it is. Here's my little message to myself. So maybe today I'm thinking more about validation, but that definitely is a goal. I also just want to glance back and read all the GitHub issues that I've made Claude Code right for me here. Yeah, critical gaps. Man, I want to rip out all those decorators from both systems. Almost like start a branch. Like code, documentation, everything. Only the builder mechanism, architecture. Let's try that. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So, thank you. Let's just get it out of here. Wow, that's a big Todos list, Claude Code. So, I'm just going to let Claude Code get to work on this. Another big experiment um, that's been successful in this project is just what is it like to use Claude Code every day, all day? Or, my 2 or 3 hours of open sourcing. What does it look like? Perfect. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I'm happy removing these decorators. Um, the project began with decorators, and then for practical reasons, and then especially once I got into TypeScript, the a more a more shippable, a faster and better at the time solution. And remember, I know JavaScript, but not deep TypeScript and not TypeScript metaprogramming, and not then. We switched to this builder syntax. I more or less don't care what the syntax is as long as the developer can express, what they want. The developer can express what they want, um, with a clear mental model. So there goes chat field. This will be done by Alice or Bob decorators. Wonderful. So let's see what's changing. Wow, a lot of code changes. Okay, so my note to myself. That's fine. I'll leave. Let me just go clear that note out then. Here it is. So I was going to work on the browser. The only problem is we still need to do validation, and potentially there's some other features I've explored, like what was it? Possible traits. Yeah, possible traits. So the thing about the browser is today, I mean, long story short, I'm not quite in the mood to do the browser code. It's going to be less fun work. It's going to be making build systems. Uh, or rather, like maybe using the build system I've got. Is that a thing? Yeah. Um, is that right? Yeah, so there's no dist that's gonna be missing. So then if I build, does it do it? Yeah, there it is. Whoa, it's just copied these files in. No idea. I don't know if this is right. So the point, so it'd be this, it'd be working on this build system and getting uh, Chatfield like importable as an npm package ultimately, or at least running in the browser. It doesn't have to be completed npm package, but it needs to run in the browser. So, I mean, it's definitely got to be done. But the thing is, I'm already wired up to do more logic work right now. I can just go and put in um, uh, validation, for example. Validation is prompting, it's more fun, and I think it's more likely to ship like by the end of this morning. It's more fun to do. I get to get into lang trace and stuff. I've got to do it. So I'm just basically in the mood to do lang to do validation. It's going to be similar. I've already rebuilt my yeah. So the answer is I'm doing validation. Let me like show exactly what this means, right? Whew. Wow. That's a massive bit of work. It is two languages though. We will see like double the diff volume than a typical project at this level of maturity, more or less. I need to start writing down these experiments, or I need to. A goal of mine is to start scanning the YouTube transcript of these videos and to capture information that I've been vocalizing. I've said a few things. I've commented that there's several experiments. You know, it's a hobby. It's a open source project. I'm relaxing with my open source here, but there's been many experiments, and one experiment is can a language model, accelerate shipping something in two languages at the same time? And the answer is definitely yes. It has not been brilliant. It's been brilliant. It's been brilliant, but it's not been perfect. It has been brilliant. It has been great. I'm shipping in TypeScript and Python at the same time. And furthermore, like besides the paper cuts, the occasional problems, for the most part, I don't. I either couldn't, just time wise, it would just double my time, or I like just wouldn't bother. I wouldn't care enough to start a new project and ship in two languages. Now, I think there's some lessons to learn, and maybe just a complete side quest. I wonder if I should make a GitHub issue that just says like improve. Let me make a little GitHub issue. I'm just going to switch over to like improving and maybe systematizing. Systematizing, is that how you spell that? Improving and structuring. The usage. Like behavior, I want much better, like, yeah, behavior. Um, is there anything else I can think of? Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's just make a ticket to remind me. Woo, this has been a big run. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm gonna click myself here. Where is that? Mm-hmm. And let this run. Oops. Oops, I forgot to run it in dangerous mode. I believe I'm a fan of Dangerous Mode, a commenter one time in the stream. I don't know, joking, maybe half joking, said, just put it in dangerous mode. And I think that's been good advice. Put myself on. Pardon me. Whoops. Hmm. Thank you. All right. Wish there could be like a social norm or something which says like this content has been, um, you know, like the old thing, dictated but not read. It could be generated but not read, something like that. And then we just know, oh, okay, if something's generated but not read, you know, somebody's meeting me halfway. They can't, they don't have time to write up all the content, but they've prompted it. That's a nice 80/20 thing. And so then I wish socially it wasn't just, oh, all AI output is slop as a social norm. And then furthermore, there just needs to be like a syntax or like a hashtag or something that says, oh, this is generated. Like when you read it, it's not my deepest, thoughts. It's just some prompting that I did, that this is what came out of my prompting. I think that'd be fun. Little hashtag. Okay. Update all documentation. Why is it taking forever to update this documentation? Maybe it's doing it systematically. Ooh, let's go read some differences. Let's go check that in. Ooh, 24 changes. Ouch. Hmm. Yes. Builder. Gonna remove some tests, right? I feel like I don't like that. Decorator. Decorator usage. Decorator React. Yeah, I think get rid of decorator. I feel like it's without, because it's LLM code, it's not, I mean, I could test it. I'll see the code here in a moment, but no, I think I like the simplification of no decorators. Interviewer slash gatherer. Gosh, it's still doing this gather. This is an example of the paper cuts. I have like requested that gatherers go away for ages. And in an IDE, I could just search and replace and cut them all out. It'd be simple. And the Claude Code is just not that thorough and systematic, even though it could be. It could search through and so forth. Oh, hello, people are chatting to me. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, people are messaging. Good day ahead. Yes, good day ahead. I spent a lot of my life in East Asia, Southeast Asia. I spent 15 years in Southeast Asia. So I grew accustomed to being sort of in the future, like that my day starts before everyone else's, except the Aussies. The Aussies always start first. Um, and then moving back to the United States, it's like, oh, you know, I'm like the last to be released from the starting blocks. I just never become accustomed to. I know I know the world is round. It doesn't matter, But it just feels that way. Like, oh, the day's already halfway over. All the Asians are like eating dinner and going to bed, and I'm just waking up and starting my day. It feels I'll never get. I'll never. I love living in the East. I know it's ridiculous. I also love living near the horizon. I lived near the equator, the Earth's equator. And if you live near the equator, like Singapore, the moon is sideways. The moon is like smiley face or frowny face, rather than the like you know cliche crescent moon from most artistic depictions. You're standing on the side of the Earth, and the moon is remains the same, and so the crescent sort of totally sideways. I love it. That's something I loved. I would spot that constantly and think, and it never got old. The sideways moon. I wonder if Singaporeans come to like New York or Canada or something, or the UK or something, and they say "Oh, the moon is sideways." It's like this crescent. No way, because they see it in movies and things. They see it in Hollywood movies. All right, let's get back to work. So huge change, massive change. Whew, look at this awesome to-do list. Presets, wonderful. We don't need presets either. Okay, I'm gonna just read the diffs. I'm not sure if I like this conversation and custom transformation removal, but that's fine. I don't remember favorite number being decorator based. Uh-huh. Remove decorator files. Yes, thank you. At least that's parallel. Favorite number. Let's go look at this. That's odd. I was working on these yesterday. These were not decorator, so let's go see. I'm happy with the Claude and readmes, I bet, though. Verification. Python imports work. Okay. Let's go read this massive diff. Claude. Okay. If this is just a readme, I gotta rewrite the entire readme, so I don't think I need to be super line graph state machine. What is it saying? Primary. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna just take the readme. We gotta or Claude. I think I know what I might do. I think I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check this in for the purpose of letting Claude Code see a diff. So I'm gonna do this. Git commit um decorators. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So okay, so that's checked in, right? This commit is it. I'm more or less using this like a stash. So now what I want to do, let me just reset. I do this a lot. I do it kind of like a stash. Nobody look. Okay. Now I want to read my own diff. So I'm just gonna drop it back. And so we're back in this editor. So everything's changed again. The thing though is, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna read this entire diff and decide what I want to do. And if I want to make any changes, I'm gonna append them on top of the commit I just made for the purpose of showing Claude what I've changed in this. I want to go into this conversation and say, good, now I've actually committed on top of you. Look at that and then do the needful. That's exactly the goal. So that's why I made that commit and then backed it out. I backed it out just because I want to read it conveniently. Okay, so readme, let's keep it. Claude, let's keep it. That's the point. Then I can just check all of this in. Readme. I'm just going to keep the readme because I don't love the readme anyway. Readme. Claude, let's take it. Readme, take it. Anything else, Claude? Readme. Claude. Claude. And I do have a sub agent to sync all these Claudes, but I'm not sure if that's an ideal process. Okay, I think that's all the, where's my, okay, read me. Okay. So let's look. So this, yes, very nice. I like this. Right. Cool. Cool. Oh, look. Oh, it did a to-do for me. Thank you. Love it. Take it. So decorators is gone. Gone. Of course, this is gone. Field choice decorator. Fine. Size.json's irrelevant. Uh-oh. Oh, what is this? Oh, this seems unrelated. This will be built by Alice and Bob Decorators. Let me just check it in. Presets. I'm glad to have no presets. I can go pull this out of the Git history. I can go pull this out of the Git history if I ever want to see this code again. These presets. User agent. I don't really see the point. Okay, yeah, gone. Good. Presets are simple. I've never used presets. I don't believe that presets are coherent with this project. I mean, they're convenient. They're easy, so maybe there's not much harm. But what I mean is the point of it is it's just a string. You can compute a string. You can type a string in. You can do anything you want to really, um, to really, perfect, to perfect the UI UX you want, as a developer. And so why have presets that are like, close but not quite helpful? Why not just have, maybe I'd rather have just like a cookbook, a README of some sort, documentation of some sort with just lots of cookbook kind of stuff. All right, let's keep going. So favorite number, like what's going on here? This is totally not, mm-hmm. So that, I'm just gonna bring it back. Discard. I'm keeping favorite number. That was a massive test. What is that? Python examples? Yeah, I was doing this all day long. Power of 2, Fibonacci. Yeah. Okay. I'm keeping it. I don't know why it deleted it, so keep it. Discard those changes. Yep. Thank you. So same thing with job interview, right? What's wrong? Perfect. Yeah, it's just a mistake. It's just a mistake that Claude Code made. So let's not do that. Next, tech request. Why is it dropping all these examples? Nope, I like this example. We're keeping it. Nope, not open. Discard. Okay, so then this test also, bind tools. Yeah, no, we're keeping these tests. This is all awesome. Vegan, we're keeping it. I don't understand. Discard. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then this is also perfectly fine. This is just, there may be redundant tests or something in here. These tests may be, I don't think this is the best test suite I've ever made. It's okay. But I don't want to drop them. These are fine. These are not decorators. So they're irrelevant to this commit. What are we doing? Discard. Yeah. Restore it. Okay, so, this just has to go. Mm-hmm. Fine. Yeah, take it. I like it. Let's get rid of it. I haven't looked at React yet. I don't care yet. Decorator usage. What is this? TypeScript? Get it out of here. at gather. No, get it out of here. Perfect. Favorite number. All right, so now we're in TypeScript favorite number. So TypeScript favorite number remains. TypeScript job interviews remains. I don't know why Claude Code deleted it. I paid for these tokens to delete a file. That's okay. It's not a quality system. It's a real-time system. It's a brilliant real-time coder. It can write more or less any code you want in 60 seconds. That's neat. Okay, decorators, yes. I don't even want this. I don't want to test it. I just want it out. I just want it gone. Yes. So then index. We don't. Yes, no more decorators. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so then just 2 files left. So the conversation test is going to remain. It's not decorator based, so it's irrelevant. Discard, thank you. And same with this, and then we're done. Discard, restore. Yes. So that's the real changes that I want. So let's check that in. This will be remove decorators. Wait, interview. Yes, save. Did I do something? What did I do? Did I do something? Fine, fine, fine. Thank you. Oh, my to-do did not save in. That's wonderful. Good. I love that. Let's revert that out. So now let's go into Python, PyTest. Interesting that it didn't, maybe it did run unit tests and I didn't notice. So I kept the, wonderful. I kept the tests and they do continue to pass. So that's perfect. Deprecated. Awesome. LangGraph v1. Awesome. This is why you upgrade to alphas, is stuff like this. So you can be ready for releases. So you can be compatible for a release. This is exactly why. So that's awesome. This may or may not be the same. There's another deprecation warning in TypeScript. Let's go look. npm run test. Now, if it doesn't work, I'm going to be sad. They're supposed to be parallel. Yes, pass. Yes, 7 pass, 65 pass. 7 test, 65. 65. Wonderful. So it's all still working. So that was a really good commit. That was a lot of good. I didn't have to think about that at all. That's a great one for Claude to do because those decorators, I think, are more or less kind of orthogonal. They were just another additional syntactic layer or additional little layer. So I'm real happy. Now, gosh, gather, right? What is that? Tests. Rip. Tests. Let's do that. What else? HTML. There it is. Looking for gather. Patient gatherer. Create a patient. Quick gatherer. Expert gatherer. Oh, I think I still have some prefab. Look, chat field gatherers. Let's fix all that. I know I'm kind of off, but find gather. I'm finding literally every instance. Gather. Okay. React hooks. I'm just deleting that. No more gather. Interview / gatherer. I gotta do it myself. Claude Code. Yeah, this use gather. I wonder if I did like a what is it, a ADR or something? Form.gather. What is that, a Claude.md? Const result form. Let's just do interviewer.go. I think that's more what it is. Oh, geez, this is like way out of date. But that's fine. I just want to stop saying gather. Look here. Oh my gosh. That makes sense. Gather. Oh my gosh, file mapping guide. I think this agent is like just busted. You know what I'm doing? What is that? Cross language? No. That's how that's gonna work. Easy, simple. Keep going. So next, where are we? Claude.md. Fine. Here. Fine. Let's say collection. Save. Okay. Data gathering. What is this? Data gathering? Data collection? I don't know. All right, what else? Socratic dialogue for data collection. Yeah. I'm gonna do a little cheeky update. Okay. Here. I'm just dropping these presets. I don't care. Patient gather, quick gather, expert gather, they're gone. I know that's not perfectly but okay, whatever. Base class for chat field, where is it? Oh, here. Let's just do that. Yep. Interviewer. Done. Where are we? Interviewer. You successfully gathered. Look, let's get rid of it. Ooh. You successfully recorded good fields, right? Focused on gathering. That's fine. I believe, here it is. Gathering, gather, fine. Data collection. Thank you. I'm just so sick of this gather stuff. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm so sick of this gather, this leg. And I don't know if I can tweak it. I feel like I have. Claude Code loves to write extra code to add backward compatibility layers to existing code. And it's completely kind of unaware, even though I've explicitly told it in the Claude.md file, you know, hey, it's an early stage project. Don't do that. Fine. Requirements gathering. Hooks. Let me just delete that. Save it. Look, what is this at gather? This needs to go. Decorator usage. Let's just drop all that out. I don't know what this is. Oh, demo.js. What is this? What? Let's just delete this whole demo.js. I don't know what this is. Yeah. Gone. Bye. Okay, done. Data collection. Fine. That's collection also. Save. Where was I? Description, done. Let's do it here too. Collection. Okay. Yeah. let's just do go. At least it'll be better. This is a complete shambles. This readme's wrong. Okay. But that's fine. I just literally want to stop saying gather. I'm so sick of it. Business plan. Gathering. That's okay. Example 2. Outline. Fine. Bug report gathering. G. Okay, basic usage. I'm just going to keep this simple gather. Let me just, what is that? What? Basic usage.ts. We're just deleting that one too. Example, TypeScript, examples, basic. Now, is there a Python examples? Basic. There is not, so that's fine. They're parallel again. Okay, wonderful, easy. What's next? Oh my gosh, Claude.md. Schema based. What? No. Gatherer. Create. Whatever. Initialize backend. That's kind of works. Who these Claude.mds like fall out of sync. Claude never really updates its Claude.md besides that init step. Although I've had good luck just rerunning init. Okay, where are we? This is totally wrong. I'm just gonna leave it totally broken. I don't care. What is this? Examples. Yeah. Broken. Create number interview. What is this? Favorite number. Now this is real. I guess it should return an interview, surely. Like this. Like that. I would expect that to work. Interview, interview, interview. Like that. I think that's correct. I think that's actually legit. Oh, thank you. Someone complimented the title in the stream. I think this is legit. Interview. Yeah, that's good. This is a good edit. Favorite number. Okay, good. I'm glad. I can't believe favorite number's been using this gather under my nose all this time. Gather equals form. Whatever. I just want gather gone. I don't care about, oh my gosh, gather builder. What is this? Job interview. So we can fix this. Interviewer comes from interviewer. Builder. Is it builder? Must be builder, huh? Yeah. Gather. Okay, no gathers in this one. What else? What is this schema based? Examples. So we're deleting this. Yeah. Schema. And again, there's no Python examples of schema base. Yeah. So that's gone. Now what? Oh yeah, fine. So builder.ts, huh? Create a patient thorough gather. Oh yeah, the presets. Presets are gone. Quick and expert, gone. Perfect. Save it. Wonderful. Let's close some files. This is crazy. Okay. Perfect. Copilot kit. Okay. So then here, this is a total shambles. And I can't believe Claude Code just completely missed it. Builder API. So there is no gatherer. Is that it? What is this? Oh, here. Interview. Oh my gosh, look what it's doing. See, this is backwards compatibility that I meant. What? We're just gonna do that, right? Interview options. Interview schema. No. We're keeping it like that. And if that's a problem, then too bad. Why does this not work? Interview options, interview schema from types. Seems like that should work. Interview schema, can I jump to it? Yeah, okay. Yep, looks good. I think it looks good. Let's save it. I think that's good. Does that work? No. Good. Okay, why are you complaining to me? Duplicate. Oh, totally. And is interview a collision as well? No, it is not. Yes, it is. Duplicate. Where is it? Oh. Where's my interview object? It's going to be in here. There it is. Interview, interviewer. Wonderful. Get it out of there. All gone. Wonderful. Nice and clean. Very clean. Conversational data collection. Save. Okay. Whew, I'm so happy with this gather. I'm so sick of this gather. Old approach removed. What? What is this? Claude.md. The React integration is in a transitional state. I'm just going to delete this. I don't want to see any gather stuff. Gather. Let's say interview. I don't know. Interview. Just going to change it. Yep, done. Save. I don't care. Gather is gone. I never want Claude Code to mention a gatherer ever again. I'm so sick of the gatherers. Okay, yes. This is wrong. What is this? Copilot kit? Whew. Maybe I'll just... Gatherer, interview, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to substitute it. Gatherer. No. Gatherer. Interview. Done. Gatherer. Interview. Oops. Done. I don't even care if this compiles. Oh, gathering. I'm doing it. Gathering, interviewing, substitute. Done. Okay, I don't care if this compiles. What is that? Copilot kit? I don't even care if this compiles. I just want the word gather out of my source code for the rest of my life. I'm so sick of this bug. I can see why Claude Code, like it's planted that word so deeply and thoroughly in the source code everywhere. Yeah, fine. I'm not even gonna think. Don't think. Gather, return. Okay, fine. Available gathering tools, fine. Gather detail, I think that's fine. It's these, gatherer. What is this? React component? Gathering, interviewing. Let's do gatherer. Do it again. Done. Save it. I don't even care if it compiles. Done. Oh my God, React. Whew. Yep. Gone. So gathering, gatherer, woo, 12 substitutions, gatherer, done, save, moving on. Claude.md, no gather stuff. React.test. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. Where is that? Let's just not even have this React test. The React code never even ran. Integration. Choo, look how it's huge. Yeah, it's gone. TypeScript. I've never read that file. I've never run it. Yeah, it's gone. Okay. Gather detailed, use conversation, gather, interview, save, gather. Okay, done, save. And then, so this React, what is this? So this is the last file. Wonderful. Conversational data gatherer, yes, this is the last file. What is this? Integration React dot, no. Yeah, no, I don't care. I haven't done React tests yet. The thing, I don't even know if it runs in the browser. I don't know how this React, no. We're removing that one too. What is that? React TS? Gone. Easy. Okay, done. The word gather only shows up here. I think that's sensible enough for a project like Chatfield. I just don't want those keywords gather. Okay. Good, good, good. We're done. Whew. Let's check that in. Gosh, that's how much work it took to clean it up, that this pollution that Claude Code generated, that I begged it multiple times, clean it up, and it wouldn't. It's like family members at my house. It's like certain young family members in my house. Okay, so I think I just check it all in like this. Did that settings.json change? No, I think it's good. Cross-language sync, we're deleting, yeah. Big push to remove the, what is it, gather stuff from the data model. SD API. All right, gone. Whew. 161 changes. That was, so does it even run though? Or yeah, I just modified tons of source code and committed and pushed without even running the test suite. All passes, wonderful. Actually, that's great. That's great. Okay, that's good. Stat. Where does it show me my? Oh, here it is. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. 1,500 deletions. That's wonderful. These will come back in some form soon, I think, once I do it, but it doesn't even build on the browser. Why do I care about a React test passing if I literally have no story to tell developers for here's how you run this on your browser? It's a good trade-off today. So let's push forward. I'm gonna what can I restart? Oh, this Claude here. I think I did it all myself. So I'm happy. There's only one thing. Let me just try this. /init. What if I do a /init? Yes. Let's see if it sort of merges or updates the Claude.md files. Okay. So while it's doing init, let's get into, let me just start reading. Let me just get into, I have an hour and a bit to kind of think about validation. So let me just read the README, the top level README, Python, TypeScript. Ooh, I love my clean top level folder here. Okay. Where do I promise people that you can validate must. So it's this dot must, right? Right. So that's validation. There's must and there's reject. And at the moment, I'm thinking must and reject. I'm thinking reject is just simply the logical negation of must. So I could either tell the LLM that, just say, reject is a reject rule and must is a required rule. Should be simple. Or I could tell the LLM only one of them and then implement the logic on the Python side. I think the answer is just tell the LLM. And in fact, reject. Yeah. So then the next question is like if I run a conversation, right? Let's run a conversation. Let's go to TypeScript and run examples. Oh, this is something else I haven't done. npx tsx favored number. Let's run favored number. Wonderful. So I'm going to open a trace. That's what I want. Thank you. So I'll say 99. Last 2-digit number or biggest or whatever. Okay. Thank you. So let me go to the trace. So let's read some prompts, right? So here's the system prompt. Is the must in there? Yeah. So this must is just kind of shoehorned in here. It's kind of shoehorned in here. Now, these could potentially be a long list of rules, Yeah, I think. Let me just kind of write down all the things I'm thinking. Let's just go to a file here somewhere. This is fine. Is it are the must reject rules in the system prompt, right? Or the what is it? It's like the fields prompt, right? Hey, what's going on? Oh, did I change the languages or something? I thought I changed the languages. Am I in a different language? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So, we don't want the LLM parrot the validation rules. Ideally, they might preview or summarize some of them, like the important ones. But then the point is, because it's conversational, they could clarify in conversation. And, I wouldn't want to duplicate the bad UX everyone knows from completing forms, and you click submit and then it's red. I know sometimes it's necessary, but I think bad forms can be unclear what's valid, and so you must submit something invalid, and then they make it red and you have to go correct it and all that. Nobody likes that. But anyway, I think if it's conversational, there is a happy midpoint where the LLM should kind of just do the right thing. Oh, someone asked in chat, let's see, what time is it? 8:08. I'm sorry, 10 minutes ago, someone asked in chat, is it paid? The answer is yes, this is paid Claude Code. It's my Claude, it's my Anthropic Claude account, and it's Claude Code using that Anthropic Claude account. I do also have GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code here. So it's both. And in fact, I like both. They're both useful. Claude Code is, I think, game changing. And I look forward to testing the other competitors. I'm sure they're brilliant also. I'm sure, they'll all be competitive. It's great. And what I'm also sure is this sort of software will run on a Raspberry Pi kind of device before long. So I love Claude Code, or I love that approach to the agent in a way that I never really connected with an IDE system like Cursor. But anyway, this is GitHub Copilot, which I really love too, because it's just a very smart assistant in the coding, typing it up. Now, we don't want the LLM to parrot the validation rules, but it, like, okay, that's the point. Clarify validation rules in conversation. That's why conversation is brilliant, Okay. So if we go back and look at the trace, so this must thing, I don't mention it, MUST. Yeah, it's not mentioned anywhere. That's not relevant. So this is just bonkers. Let me just write what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is great, but so what if it's like this, right? If the rules is 0, if there's no rules, then don't mention it, right? If there's exactly 3, briefly summarize the validation, right? Now we're getting into, I don't know, people may not like that. Actually, yeah, developers, I don't think people are going to appreciate something kind of hard coded this way, where they say, I wish this thing would stop summarizing my validation rules. Yeah. Yeah. So the question is, do you mention validation rules or not? There's no third state, right? It's just else. Yeah, exactly. So briefly summarize is out. That's too much control over the words of the LLM. That's not my right, as it were. That's not my business to control. That's the prompting of the application. So I guess if there are rules, if there are any rules, so I guess I have to explain what must, and reject means. And we could do one of this for must and one for reject, potentially. Yeah, and or. Maybe maybe give the LLM the choice. That's sort of my thinking is sometimes it is friendly and, good to explain in detail what a validate, for example, what's your favorite number between 1 to 100? I think that would make sense to say, because people could have a favorite number that's outside that range. But other times, like if there's 50 rules, I don't think, and that's why the hint, do we still have hints? Hint. Yeah, we do have hints. Where's the builder? Here it is. Hint. Here it is. So there's the hint, and then is there a... I don't know if the serialization.py is needed anymore. Then there's a, what is it? Yeah, the answer is there's the hint. The answer is there's the hint. So validation rules will not be mentioned because you can hint yourself. That's exactly how that's going to work. Okay. So then what that means is, where was my little note? Yeah. So if there are no validation rules, don't mention anything. That's definitely the case. Otherwise, we have to explain, like this is like LLM guidance, right? We have to explain what must or reject means. We will not summarize validation rules, ever. Do not mention the validation rules. Or, no, I can't say it that explicitly. I could just leave it. What should I say? The point is the hint. So I could say if there's a hint, let me think. Yeah, what if there's a hint? Right? The hint would supersede the validation rules. And just in terms of like the initial, we're talking about the system prompt, the initial system prompt. And so let me think. If you have validation rules, I'm going to tell it, oh, okay, there's validation rules here. If there's a hint, I think I know what I'll do. We're going to say something like, yeah, guidance. We're going to say something like, rather than like, no. What do I think? If there's a hint, okay, the user must use the hint, the developer must use the hint to describe these validation fields. So, okay, let me just type what I'm thinking rather than, yeah, that's actually like, right, rather than, right, stating validation rules, provide, like use the hint. That's the point. And then if there's no hint, yeah, if there's no hint, then the LLM guidance is, I think, just only mention the validation rules, like if it would be natural, so this is I think I would just not say anything. Let's just start with not saying anything. That's easier to implement anyway. Instead of an else, we're just going to list the validation rules out. Yeah, and then if the LLM is returning like gross lists of them, then we'll deal with that then. So it just works like this. Mention validation live in conversation as needed. Of course, if there's no rules, don't mention anything. So if there are rules, we have to explain what must and reject means. Right, this is like an all, and this reject is an any, right? We're going to explain that to the LLM. I think this is cool. If there's a hint, then yeah, maybe. I don't know, maybe I just explain. Kind of like it's like inspired by tooltip or yeah, exactly, placeholder maybe. Yeah, exactly. Rather than stating the validation rules using. So we're going to explain all these rules. I think the hint is unrelated to the validation. It's going to work like this. The hint can just supersede all that. So we have to explain what must and reject are, and then just say, you know, mention the validation rules. Oh. Right. If the Bob, right? Yeah, exactly. If the Bob provides an invalid response, explain basically like the Alice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right, good response. Okay, cool. If the Bob provides an invalid response, yeah, let's do this. The Alice explains the rule like as natural. There's this concept that I write as suitable for the role. I think multiple times. I don't know if it would help to just explain it. I don't know. It's sort of like what I'm trying to say is in character, you know, Alice, because Alice's character might be you don't explain the validation rules. Now, I don't want to overthink and make it too overbroad in general and not useful. So I don't have to, I mean, this is just pseudocode in a comment right here, but you know, there could be, it could be the case that something's invalid, you know, like, I'm trying to think, like in human conversation, I might ask a question like, what's your last four or something? And if I say like my last name, they wouldn't say, no, that's an invalid social. They would say, no, I mean the last four of your social. This is an American example, sorry, but that's what I mean. It's not that my last name is an invalid response. It's that a smart conversation would say That is invalid. Oh, that's a last name, you know. So I don't want to put words in the mouth here. I got to be real careful at this point of the prompt because Alice could be any role in any conversation and Bob could be any role. And so there's this concept that's come up again and again where I'm trying to say, like, do the natural thing. Okay. Let's just keep finishing. I think this basically is the logic. So then I need to think about, what about must or reject? I think I know. I'm going to do it the hard way. Like must only, reject only, and both. Yeah, I'm going to have a little prompt for both of them, I think. Maybe not, but that's the plan. Explain that, Alice. Yeah, explain that, Alice, that like all the Bob, that all like fields, right? Response against these rules. Oh, yeah. Prior to collection, right? Prior to. Or like only. Whatever, that's close enough. Must be valid prior to collection, something like that. Of course. I think that's clear enough with must and reject. Probably goes here. And if the Bob, so then if the Bob provides an invalid response, okay, that's close enough. So let's go implement that. That's going to be the logic of validation. So what I've ruled out, this is awesome. A long time ago, I thought, ooh, maybe I'm going to want a tool call for invalid information. And I still do want that, but not for MVP. I think it'd be really cool for the data model to capture, like, you know, maybe it's not either invalid data or incomplete data or something. Maybe change the language because invalid kind of has a clear meaning in a data model context. But the point is, again, it kind of makes sense for like a half of an answer to be recorded into the state of the interview to allow the other half to, you know, complete the picture later in natural conversation, you know? So now again, I think I can get away with it. The reason MVP, I don't think I need it, is in the conversational history. That's fine. It could not store that information and we could have meandering conversation and then I could finish my thought, let's say. And the LLM knows that's what the LLM is very good at doing. So it would effectively pull that earlier conversation, which did not result in any data storage, and then the later conversation, and put them together and call the tool. It's going to be fine for MVP. So we just need, so this is the validation rules and the hinting. This is awesome. Explain what the hint is. Inspired by a tooltip or a placeholder? Yeah, because I still don't know what a hint is myself. I still haven't really decided what a hint is, but we'll figure it out in the prompting. So this is the prompt. This is how, this is awesome. So validation is only going to work through system prompts. Validation and rejection is only going to work through system prompts. Oh, it also occurred to me, maybe I'll put this in a to-do. I'll just put it right here. Like two, like more sophisticated, like feature ideas. So what I just said, if hint is a question, use it as a follow-up question. Nope, that's not a good idea. Explain what a hint is. No. A tool call for partially valid data to store in the state somehow. The problem is that implementation would be a big pain in the neck. Right now, my implementation really has baked in. Either null means it's not there, and not null means it is there, and there's no gray area. And so this would introduce gray area, so it'd be a somewhat major change. I think it's very cool, though. I think it'd be nice to have information stored in a gray area. And then my point about, the LLM can just put this conversation together, that depends on the specific LLM. There might be LLMs which are brilliant, but which don't have these big windows. I think small language models will flourish. And I've talked about it before. I've heard someone told me, small language models will always be cheaper to run inference than large language models. Always. That's what a small language model means, is it's smaller and thus cheaper and or faster to run. And so, in the same way that small computers always exist and always will, small language models will always exist. They're not a flash in the pan or something. And so what that means is language models might change. Now, I have bigger fish to fry than future small language models, which don't even exist yet. But what I'm saying is this partially valid data, it should be part of my data model, Chatfield's data model. That should persist. That should be available. I think that's really, the reason is because in conversation, it's extremely relevant. You can say a partially valid piece of information, and in my mind, I kind of storing it in my mind. So let's keep going though. And then the second example was a tool call for just failures. I was thinking of a tool call for validation failures. It could just call a tool which says things are invalid, but I now think that's not necessary. I think this is all just system prompting. Potentially, this is all just system prompting. Wonderful. So let's go do that. Where are we? Index.ts. Let's try to do it in TypeScript just to be cheeky, just to enjoy my... So let's go find, so where's that going to be? That's definitely going to be in the interviewer, just like everything is. You are the conversational. Is this my, whoa. Is this my, okay, so here's my system prompt. So here we are. This is perfect. You know what? That write-up was pretty good. I think maybe tell Claude Code about this, huh? Okay, so here's the specs. There's confidential. I should describe confidential as well, although it's kind of working, so I won't. Yeah, I won't. Build field descriptions. So here's the problem. Here's the first problem to solve. I really want to count these rules after I go through all the so like if here's the fields, I mean, so I could do it this way to start. What is it? Must count. Exactly, must and reject. So then here are the specs. Confidential, conclude. Yeah, see, conclude skips. Correct. That's correct. Here it is, confidential and conclude. Skip confidential and conclude. Weird. Array-based specs. Must, reject, and hint. Oh, there's multiple hints. Okay. Okay, so that's a hint count. All right. Confidential. only process if it's an array. Weird. Okay. Plus specs. Okay, I see. So here's the specs. Okay. I see. Capitalizes it. Okay, wonderful. Oh yeah, there's confidential. Okay. Right, and confidential's a trouble. Confidential's bad. Okay, so only process if it's an array. No. I think it is an array. It's definitely an array. Let's just try this code. Okay. Yeah, spec label. Okay. So the easiest way would just be like right here. I see. Yeah, the rules count. Yeah. So only process if the rules is an array. Let's do this. Just to do this. Huh? No, it's not an array. Continue if the rules is an empty list, right? There we go. That's fine. That's fine. Stop it. Okay. Whoops. Yeah. I guess that's fine. Okay, so now it's an array that's been populated. And so it's definitely got rules. So now here we can say if spec, exactly, hint. So this is going to be a little ugly. Yeah. Else if, exactly. Yes, exactly. Else if, exactly. Done. So that's not awesome. That's not beautiful. But these haven't changed. I haven't made them generic. Confidential is already kind of barging in here. So I don't mind. I don't mind like impure code, unclean code, kind of kludgy code a little bit, if the data model is really good, because the code can always be kind of improved to work on the data model, but the data model, changing the data model without changing the code is impossible. So I'm okay for now. So there's hints, musts, and rejects. So these are real hints, musts, and rejects. This is counting the fields that have these. So that's perfect. So then these hints, so these are per field basically, right? Build field descriptions? No. Let's just say fields. So this is counting all fields is the point, because I need to know what to put in the system prompt. So this is basically working. So with these fields all counted, Alice traits, Bob traits, yeah, exactly. Right, if, yeah, exactly. Okay, this is total shambles here. Whoa. Yeah, this is bad. Okay. Let me just finish here, right? We want this. As soon as you, whoops, wait, detail below. Oh, there's the traits, cool. Plus, let's do it here, plus, thank you. I'm just gonna cut anywhere, I don't care. plus, is that right? Plus, 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 plus. Yep. How far does this go? Oh, almost done. Boom. Alice and Bob. Plus, now what is this? Let's try this. So there's that. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this. Like that, right? And then backslash. Is that right? No. Yes. Yes. Done. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I think that's my prompt. Okay, now that's somewhat readable. Now, perfect. Oh, does this need a new line? I think it does. Okay. So, and then here's the fields. So let's go read my comment. Let's go read my plan. What's my plan? If there's no rules, don't mention anything. Wonderful. Are the must and reject rules in system prompt, field prompt? Yes, they are. Don't want the LM to parrot the validation rules. I think you can do hint. I think hint, if I just say, hey, the hint overrides, the hint overrides everything else, then I think that allows the developer to control this well. So let me just move this whole comment out of here. So down in the system prompt here, so let's just do if hint, right? So where would that be? As soon as you encounter relevant information in conversation, immediately use tools to record information fields. Oh, this casts is also, not, this should be optional. Let me just drop a quick to-do. It's the same thing. I could just count them up above and then just if else. It's going to be easy. Okay. The Bob may take the conversation anywhere. Your response must fit the conversation, right? And your respective roles. Right. You want to gather clear key information. Okay. So key information in conversation. Oh, there it is. Collection name. All right. So let's do hint, right? Where does the hint go? Here's the collection name. So there's the description section. Let's go read that description section. Ooh, that's kind of ugly, but that's okay. Ooh, that's super ugly, but that's okay. So it just pastes in the chat field description. I think maybe I'll put it right here. After the description section. Yes. and before the fields. Yeah, how about this? Like explain fields, right? And it can be totally optional string, right? Explain fields. So for example, let explain fields equals double quote. Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's how that'll work. If that's how nothing will change if um, there's nothing to say. So if there's a hint, right? Hint count, right? So let's try that first. If hint count is greater than 0, let's say. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see if that's any good. Yeah, exactly. So we do the description. The description has a new line at the end of it. So let's do this. So the collection is, let's go read the description. The description is an H2, right? Is a 2-level marker. And then the fields to collect, yikes, this is totally bad. Let's fix it. So that'll be the description. It'll have double new line. And then have the description. Surely double new line here, right? Okay. The fields to collect will be in the fields prompt, surely. Oh, there's the field. Let's just put it here. Yeah. So, like that. So then we explain the fields. The description will not. Yeah, the description does not end with new lines, so that's fine. So let's do it ourselves. So here's the collection, there's the name. Yeah, let's make it consistent. So the description section will have its own double new lines, that's fine, and then it will end with nothing. Right. Let's try that. Then to explain the fields, yes, I think that's good. It might be like this a little bit. Let's try that. Yeah. Okay. So then so we say there's the collection, the description's going to new line itself, and then explain field's going to want to do the same thing, exactly like description. So it'd be like this, new line, and then I think I kind of want, where did that go? Here, description section. Okay. Oh, let's say, yeah, how hints work. Right? How hints work. So I'll say the Alice, right? Use the hint, use the hint fields which include a hint. Fields which include a hint, or let's say a hint for a field should direct the Alice. What am I trying to say? A hint for a field a hint about a field, a hint fields may have one or more hints which are suggestions, which are like clarifications or examples, which are clarifications or examples, right? No, which are clarifications or examples for the Alice, exactly. Let's try this. For the Alice, exactly. That was good. I like that with the Bob. Boop, boop. Direct some fields may have one or more hints, which are clarifications or examples to provide, to summarize or provide, to provide or summarize. No, just to provide in conversation with the Bob. Okay. Right. And then here's the point. Let's do this, right? This will be a backslash n. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Let me just do a quick, and this will be hints override validation, right? It's that. Let hints, yeah, exactly. And so the way this works is if the must count, nope, is greater than 0, or exactly. Let me just stop saying that. Oh, Vic, hey Vic. Yeah, I love that. So what will it be? Hints override validation. Let's say, and so the point is here, right? The Bob. To provide in conversation with the Bob. Use hints, right, rather than validation rules. Use hints rather than validation rules. Use hints. What am I trying to say? Right. Use hints to explain to the Bob. The like big picture. Plus use validation. Yeah, only mention as they. Yeah, exactly. I think that's it. It's like that. I think it's like that. Use hints to explain like core ideas or examples to the Bob. To explain main ideas or examples or example, yeah. To the Bob, use hints. To explain a specific validation rule, to explain main ideas and examples to the Bob, use hints. Mention specific validation as they become relevant. Okay. I think that's good. So that's how hints override validation works. Do I have like a syntax error? What's going on here? Expression is not callable. String has no call. Oh, yes, syntax error. Thank you. So that's how that works. And then that's how hints work. Hints override validation. Okay, let's keep going. This is not like brilliant, but it's just kind of getting some work done. So if there's no rules, we don't mention. If there's no rules, I think that's still working. Explain that must. Okay, so I haven't explained must and reject yet for sure. Explain that must be valid prior to collection. Must and all. Must only, reject only, both must and reject. If the Bob provides an invalid response, explains the rule. I think that's kind of worked. Okay, and then hint. Fine. Tool call. I don't care anymore. Okay. If the Bob provides an. Okay, so now we're on to must and reject. Must and reject. So let's do that. To do not mention cast if there are no casts. That's good. Okay, must and reject. So here we go. So what I originally thought was something like this. If must count is greater than 0 and exactly must only, right? Exactly. Reject only. Exactly. Both must and reject. So that's kind of the general case. Where my prompt could be different in all cases. So then what would this look like? Explain fields. It's still explain fields, yeah. So hints come after, yes. You know what we could maybe do? If must count is greater than 0 or reject count is greater than 0, right? So explain validation, right? And then all these can indent in, and then that can be like that. And so now validation will be here. And so then the way that works is, what is that? Hints override explain fields, explain fields. So let's move explain fields to here. So now we can kind of do it like this. Where was that? Just like that, right here. All right, we're going to explain how validation works. How we can do it like this, right? Validation. What will I say? Yeah, tag like must and reject. Must validation. what am I trying to say? Labels. Let's just do that. Oops, let labels. Okay. So this is continues to be not like brilliant code, but you're gonna get it right. Thank you. Yeah, must and reject. Validation rules. Must reject. So let's try this. Labels and labels or, yeah, exactly. You got it. You know what I want. You know what I want. You know what I want. Yep. 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 It's just getting worse. But if the prompt comes out, if the data model's right and the prompt's coming out, my big philosophy is I want an entire prompt testing framework here. So until I have tests showing me like that this is bad or something or could be improved, I don't want to really overthink or like get the perfect prompt going or even get the perfect code going. I just want to get it done. So this will be labels and, okay. So we're going to say validation rules. Fields, yeah, you, that all must and reject rules are satisfied before recording information. Right. You must ensure that all rules are satisfied. To explain main ideas, use hints. You must ensure that all rules are satisfied before recording information. That all must and reject rules are satisfied. So let's just do this, like how. Yeah, let's try that. Oops. How reject works. Yeah, let's do that. So we could say like let, yeah, exactly. So then if there's must, then how must works. Yes. Let's just do a quick string. I'm sick of it. You must ensure that all must rules. Yeah, exactly. Let's say must rules fields label field, right, must rules. Must means a field means that all must. All, right, all rules must evaluate true, must pass for the field to be valid, right? Let's just start there. You must ensure. So how reject works? Yeah. Exactly. Any rule that does not pass causes the field to be invalid. All rules must pass for the field to be valid. Any rule that does not pass causes the field to be invalid. Right. Perfect. Can I fix this? Must reject. That's fine. I'm going to keep going. I decided I don't care about this logic. So basically, I just need to copy this code again. This is super not dry. This is fine, though. Okay. Now, you must ensure that all rules satisfied. So it's going to be one of them for sure. So we'll give it a new line, and then must can have let's just try that. Must and reject. Any rule that does not pass causes the field to be invalid. I think that's good. So then you must ensure that all rules satisfied. Then we can say, so after that, we could do double new line and then say, ooh, what is this prompt? You must explain. Yeah, perfect. And why? Yeah, exactly. You must do this in a manner. Yeah, exactly. No, that's fine. This is not bad. So new line. How must works, how reject works, because it's got to be one of these, right? So they do a new line thing, then we do new line. If the Bob provides information, yeah, not satisfying the must or reject rules. Yeah, the must and reject rules. Oh, a must or reject, must or reject rules. Explain as the Alice which rules are not satisfied. Come in. It's open. What's up? Thank you. That's awesome. I'll put my coffee in that. What you doing? What'd the doctor say? Are you sick or are you good?
I'm good.
You're good? You're not sick?
Yeah.
Okay. You just had a headache?
Yeah.
Just a headache?
That's you drinking your coffee without that thingy?
Yeah.
That's an ad.
Look, there's your hand.
Of you. That's my hand. See my hand? That's me. I was in your office.
So you're not sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then come in, and that's me. That's me of the picture.
Cool. Well, good. We'll go play. I'm gonna keep working.
Okay.
That's good. I'm glad you're not sick.
I think I feel.
Good. Okay. Bye. Took my hacky sack? Okay. All right. If the Bob provides information not satisfying labels, explain as the Alice, explain as the Alice. Explain the situation as the Alice, right? Right. Explain the situation in a manner suitable. Perfect. That's good enough. I think that's good enough. I always add another empty string at the end just to so that all of this code here is kind of consistent and I can cut and paste and move it without thinking. I like to just have plus signs at the end of all of my strings to keep it simple. Okay. How must works, how reject works. So before recording information, good. That's not too bad. So that's how explaining fields works. I don't like this, but it's going to work. And again, if the prompt comes out the other side correctly and the tests all pass and things, that's the priority. I don't mind a little jank there. Now, do not mention casts if there are no casts. Gosh, I'm already in here. Where are the casts counted? Could I do that? Are the casts counted anywhere? cast. Oh, they're like not counted. They're not counted here, so I'm not going to implement that. Okay. Explain what must. Um, I think we're good here. I think we're good. We're good. Good. Totally. So now we're going to explain the fields. If there's a must or a reject, we explain how validation works. All rules must pass. Any rule must pass. Must interject, must reject. Validation rules must and reject. Well, you must ensure that all rules are satisfied. All. How must works, how reject works. Fine. Or maybe we could do, you know what I could do? How must works. How it works. Tighten it up slightly. How it works, right? Could be like that. How it works could be like that. And then how it works could be like both. So let's say it could at least just be both like that. How it works. Yep. Why is it freaking out at me? I'm just going to keep going though. Plus. New line plus. Stop it. Plus how reject works. So that'll be must. All rules must pass. 2 new lines. Reject. Okay, that's how that works. So wait, what? How it works? Why is it like that? Why are you not letting me do that? What are you doing? Cannot find name how it works. Did you mean how? Oh, yes. How it works. How it works. Like that. Boom, boom. Done. Okay. How it works. Okay, so then you explain how. Okay, good. So when you explain a field, we say there's validation rules. We say all the rules must be satisfied. We explain how the rules works now. I think it would be 2 of these now. We explain how it works. If the Bob provides information not satisfying the rules, explain that. Explain the situation in a manner suitable for the Alice role. Okay. So that's how explaining the fields. So that's validation rules. And so then if validation rules So if there's validation rules, explain fields. This could be explain validation. That's fine. So if there are validation rules, but I don't know if the hint count is here. Yeah, it would be here. This logic needs to move. This goes here. Boom. Like that. So if there's hints, that's fine for now. So if there are hints, then we explain how hints work. Off we go, the Alice, the Bob, and then there's all the override. Hints override validation. Oh, okay, good. Good. Let's get rid of that. So that's done. Let's just be done with how hints work. So it just ends. And then hints override validation, right? Like in conversation. So then we just keep going. Explain fields. Exactly. Just like that. Just like that. But to explain main ideas, basically, new line. That's something like that. To explain main ideas or examples, use hints. Mention specific validation rules. Right, perfect. So that's how hints work. So I think we're ready to test. If it compiles, if I have syntax errors or something, but let's just run. So where's one of the examples with hints and validation? Integrations, TypeScript examples, favorite number. Let's look at favorite number. So there's hints. It's not a good hint. Here's another hint. Right. Let's try like right. I don't know. And then what's this hint? Because wait, are there validation rules? Must a number between 0 and 100? So that's how that would work now, because without this hint, it's not, I think, going to say the validation rules, or I think I leave it open-ended. Let's just run that and just see what it says, what we see. Favorite number. So let's pull up the trace. Hello there. So I should already see, yeah, here we are. So here's the system prompt. You are the conversational mathematician. Traits and characteristics about the mathematician. Enthusiastic about number properties. Why do we have this? Oh, I see. So then collection, number interview. Right, number interview information. Clear number interview. Okay. From the number enthusiast. Enthusiastic about number properties. Okay, so collection number interview. So here's a description. Let's explore your relationship with numbers. Here's validation rules must. You must ensure that all must rules. Okay, I don't like that. You must, whoops, wrong file. Wrong file. Wait. Always, you always ensure, okay, that all must rules are satisfied before recording information. So I think I kind of want to do it like this. Like quote it. And then like that. Oops. Quote, 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 like that. I think that's how that's going to work. So now they'll be quoted. Must. All rules must pass for this field to be valid. I think it's not necessary to track them like that. It's already quite clear. And then I can do that, right? Or we could do like this. No, I think it's fine. The LLM knows must and reject so well, I don't think I need to. Okay, good. Save it. If the number enthusiast provides information not satisfying must rules, explain the situation in a manner suitable for the mathematician role. How hints work. Fields may have one or more hints, which are clarifications or examples for the mathematician to provide in conversation with the number enthusiast. To the as needed. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Okay. How hints work. Now we don't have some tests. This is the sort of thing I need to test more, but maybe we could do some tests, like easy ones, like providing a negative number for providing a number out of range. To explain main ideas or examples to number enthusiast. To the use hints. Mention specific validation rules. Okay, that's fine. Use hints. Mention specific validation rules as they become relevant. Fields to collect. Collection, number interview. Description, validation rules must. How hints work. So I wonder, okay, I think I know. I want to put the validation rules above traits and characteristics. Yeah, I want to put the validation rules above the fields to collect, or above this whole collection object here. Basically, Alice and Bob, let's do it this way. There's Alice and Bob. And then, is it just explain fields moves above like that? Description and fields to collect. Let's try that. Get a new trace. And just read the system message. Come on. Validation rules must. Yeah, okay, perfect. So then, and then how hints work. Wait, what? How hint, oh, good. So how hints work gets 1, and validation rules gets 1. Perfect. I don't know if it changes much, but how hints work. Fields may have, okay, so traits and characteristics about the mathematician. Validation rules must. You must always ensure must rules are satisfied before recording information. What is that? All rules must pass. Right. All any reject rule which does not pass causes the field to be invalid. And then how it works can be the same thing here. All must rules must be valid. Any reject rule. See, this is already not dry and I'm regretting it, but that's okay. We're just trying to get a string working. Okay, let's keep that. Let's keep that how it works. Whoops. Okay. Let me just pause myself just for a second here. Okay. Now, how it works. Let's just rerun. Turn myself on. Come on. Okay. Let's read the trace. Here we are. Validation rules. Must. You always ensure that all must rules are satisfied before recording information. Right. You always, just always ensure. All must rules must pass for the field to be valid. If the number enthusiast provides information not satisfying must rules, explain the situation in a manner suitable. And then here's how hints work. Fields may have one or more hints. This is basically working. I'm just tweaking around the prompt stuff. I don't mind it. To explain main ideas or information, use hints. Mention specific validation rules. So hints override validation rules. And then here we are back in the collection. It's nice and simple. There's the description, and here's the fields to collect. I think that's perfect. Yeah. So that's perfect. Let's actually change. So let's see if I go favorite number, let's just disable this hint here, right? And then if we rerun the test, let's just see what it says. Okay, so it is using the validation. So that's kind of good. You know, 73 or 88. Not too common. Let's just do more musts. And an integer. A whole number. Positive. Not cliche. Like 42. Okay, so if these are all the must rules, right? Let's see what it says. Let's trace that. That might be fun. Because in the real world, I think that's more likely. You're going to have 10 or, 10 validation rules. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Remember, it should be a whole number. It synthesized it pretty well. And then that's going to depend on the LLM. So that's not bad. So then, let me try dropping, because I prompted to say that hints override validation rules. If I do this, hint. Hint, do not cite the validation rules unless asked. Right. Is given. I'll use passive voice here a little bit. Right, so I'm trying to say to don't say. So now I should see, it should just say, what's your favorite number? Yes. Good. Yes. 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 Very cool. Very cool. So then I say, well, I like -3. And it's going to say, no, that's not valid. Hopefully. Yes. 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 Good. 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 So I say 3.14159, right? It's going to say, nope. Whole number. 1 in 100. Okay, neat. Yeah. Totally awesome. Now what? 42. It's gonna say no, it's cliche. It's cliche. It's cliche. It's a bad number. Okay, so this is not a really polite mathematician, this is a little bit rude to have detailed validation rules that you don't explain, but the power, allowing the hint to, and I like how the hint is, I'm talking to the LLM and the LLM completely understood me. The LLM did not tell the user, hey, don't talk about validation rules. So that worked super well. I just want one thing about the hints. Where's that? Where's the hints? Hints override to explain main ideas or examples, use hints. To explain main ideas or examples, use hints. Oh, fields may have one of which are clarifications or examples to provide as needed to the Bob, which are clarifications to you, or, right, or, like, what do you call it? Tooltip, or placeholder. No, or tooltip style guide. Yeah, style explanations. Or tooltip style explanations or examples. To provide as needed or examples. Which are clarifications to you or tooltip style explanations or or examples. Right. Or examples or example content, right? Right. Like obey these. Provide this information as needed to the Bob. Right. Perfect. Right. And provide this information to the Bob as needed. I don't know if that's an improvement. Remember these hints. What I'm trying to say by remember these hints is for it to, the first example I noticed is my hint was just, hey, don't talk about validation rules. And that completely worked. So I'm super happy. Let me just see if this prompt is exactly what I meant. Let's just try again. Make sure the prompt, okay. Good. Let's go see, what does that system prompt say? Hello. Here it is. Okay. Mathematician, validation rules. Always ensure that all must rules are satisfied before recording information. All must rules must pass for the field to be valid. For the field, for a given field to be valid. All must rules associated with a field must pass for the field to be valid. Any reject rule associated with a field, any reject rule associated with a field which does not pass causes the field to be invalid. Yep. Just do it again. This is basically working. The only problem is I don't have tests or anything proving it just at the moment, but this is working. We've got validation working. And I kind of like that validation is LLM only because, you know, the application could have its own, like must have its own validation logic, maybe in the more traditional, like, you know, software logic layer. And that's fine. That's why chat field, firstly, the primary data type of all chat field is just string. All fields are strings. And then you can cast to whatever you want, and then you can validate whatever you want that way. And then my goal would be, you know, you could then basically update the state of the interview. Somehow I don't have a lot of tests yet with that happening, but you know, maybe not all the validation fields are in chat field. Maybe there's a complex computer system that processes, you know, a query or a bit of data. And so the user might say in chat, you know, here's the last four of my social, for example, you know, and then chat field extracts that. It calls the tool. Well, that doesn't matter. Chat field populates the interview with the last four of the social. And then maybe that's queried into like a security system that validates that, you know, and so then it could just return back, you know, yes or no. And then that needs to get back into chat field. You know, that's not a chat field validation rule. In chat field, the last four of your social is just any four numbers, right? Any four numerals. But the application might check that, get some sort of response, which is sort of not quantifiable in chat, not worth tracking in chat field. And it might just say, you know, maybe it could add a hint, or maybe it could add a validation rule at that point. You know, so for example, if the social says that, you know, that just doesn't check out, maybe it just returns false. You query an API, there's the last four of the social, and it returns false, like validation failed. In chat field, you could just update the data model. You could add validation rules to say, don't do that one again. You could add hints. I don't want to get too far out of scope for, you know, post MVP, where we're really getting into, you know, a lot of stuff like, you know, in chat field, you may want to, well, I don't know. I don't want to get too out of scope for what all it could do, because there's a lot that it could do. One of my favorites is just go into your browser, just have a plugin for my browser, an extension for my browser. So any HTML form, I can just click it to chat field. And then with my own tokens, with my own API key, I can just complete the form with chat field in a chat, maybe with voice. And then, you know, convert back to the HTML or something like that and submit that form. So then any HTML form in the entire web, I could use chat field to work with it on my browser with a browser extension. I think that'd be fun. I think there'd be a lot of fun React stuff, obviously, too. So validation rules must. Yeah, all must rules must pass for the field to be valid. If the number enthusiast provides information not satisfying must rules, explain. Yep. Fields may have one or more hints. Yeah, or example content. And these could split out into different, you know, builder, different little methods instead of hints, but for now, they'll all be the same. To explain a main idea, use hints. Collection, number, interview. And then here we go, fields to collect. Here's a massive list of validation rules. Yeah, I like that. The only thing is the validation rules are only stated in this massive system prompt. So, um, I hope that like persists through the entire conversation. Yeah, I think I know what I could. Let me just drop a quick to do. I'll just drop it in this code here. I don't care. The to dos are eventually all going to become like GitHub issues. Maybe 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 like use the LLM. Maybe remind the LLM about the validation rules later in conversation, or like at or around the tool calls. No idea. So the only problem is this is the very first message in the entire conversation. It's this massive system prompt, and it's asking for all these fields to collect. And if it kind of forgets that information, then that would be bad. But that's not MVP. That's not the problem of MVP. So this is basically, I'm going to check this in. This is basically working. Ooh. Oh, it only updated the top line Claude. Whatever. So let's go look at the TypeScript examples. What changed here? Oh, my hints. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That totally worked though. Oh, I didn't do the rejects yet. Maybe I could play with that. Right, all those nots, those should be a reject. Must not just equals reject. So let's, oh, now here's all the real change I did. Okay, so I'm happy. This was kind of, I don't know if it's tech debt. It's just slightly not super generic code, but we count them up from going through what's nice about this is this code here, I'm pointing with my finger, this code here only runs upon, by the time this code here is running, I know this field will be mentioned to the LLM. So we're counting of all of the fields which you mentioned to the LLM, which ones have hints, how many have hints, how many have must conditions, and how many have reject conditions. And so from counting them, it's really simple. And then there's just a bunch of string stuff basically that says, well, if there's a condition, tell the LLM what that means. And if there's hints, tell the LLM what that means. And if there's conditions and hints, tell the LLM that hints override conditions and so forth. So do not mention casts if there are no casts. You are the conversational Alice. Focus on gathering key information. Traits, fine. Okay. Validation, yeah. Must, reject, and hint implemented in the system prompt. TypeScript only. Let me just see if I can quickly make Claude Code. Right? I'm just going to make it do that. So then what's changed? Just this. Perfect. Push that up. So hopefully, oh, and while it's doing that, let me play with some reject conditions. So favorite number. So instead of not too obscure, let's say reject obscure like 73 or 88. Reject cliche like 42. Any other not, a number between 1 and 100, not too common. So reject too common, like 7 or 10. Perfect. So we'll reject instead of a whole, that's fine. That's tons of rejects and stuff. So if I run that in TypeScript, let's run it again. Let's see if reject works, and let's look at the trace. Whoops, yep. Here's my new trace. Hello there. Start with a simple question. So if I say I love 42, it's going to say that's not valid. That's cliche. Wonderful. That's awesome. And now it's kind of clarifying. This is cool. This is cool. The life, the universe, and everything. So I'll say, well, I love 7. Right? It's going to say, nope. Wonderful. So how about 23 from the Illuminatus trilogy? Illuminatus. Wonderful. Done. Perfect. So let's go read that trace. This will be a fun trace. So here's the system prompt. Basically happy. Scroll. Come here. Can I make this a little bigger? So the mathematicians, so here's the validation rule. So we have must and reject. Always ensure that all must and reject rules are satisfied before recording information. All must rules associated with a field must pass for the field to be valid. Any reject rule associated with a field which does not pass causes the field to be invalid. I could say must fail, but I'm not. I think it's fine. I think the language model is going to crush must and reject. If the number enthusiast provides information not satisfying must reject, explain in a manner suitable. Okay, perfect. Now, how hints work. Fields may have one or more hints, which are clarifications to you, or tooltip style explanations or example content. Tooltip. Let me just not quote tooltip. I don't know if I'm just micro optimizing. Save. Whatever. Remember these hints and provide this information to the number enthusiast as needed. To explain main ideas or examples to the number enthusiast, use hints. Mention specific validation rules as they become relevant. Wonderful. So then here's the collection. Let's explore your relationship with numbers. I don't know about this description, but that's not today's bug. Fields to collect. Reason. Oh, yikes. It changed the order. Or did I? I don't know what happened. Maybe the order's not guaranteed in TypeScript. Or maybe it's just always been reversed. No, I've been reading this. Anyway, must, reject, reject, hint. Awesome. That's kind of perfect. Oh, hint should really go first, right? No, that's fine. Hint overrides these, so that's cool. Must, reject, reject, hint. That's so awesome. A number between 0 and 100, a whole number. Reject obscure, reject common, reject cliche. Wonderful. Totally perfect. And then I gave it all my answers. Are we still in the middle of the conversation? No, it exited, didn't it? Don't test. Oh dear. This thing always bombs the testing. How are things going? 42, 7, 23. Wonderful. As bool even. Wonderful. Here's the casts. Whoops. Here's the value. Cool. What is this thinking? Nice. Yep, here's my call. Awesome. Awesome. It's casted all. Okay, good. I'm happy. Let's see what it's updated. That's not bad. You see what I mean? Like that's like 5 minutes. Let's see if it ported it over though and what's changed. So where was that? This favorite number? Let me just check this in independently. Whatever. And then let's check this in. This is just one little tiny change. Oh Okay. And then here's the real change. So let's go to the top. First commit. Okay. Make system prompt. Okay. Alice, Bob. Oh, interesting. It's doing it this way. Make system prompt. Alice traits, Bob traits. About the, oh, I see. So it's updated some code, so that's okay. And then here we go. Is it helpful at all to mention the tools? Oh, right. Description section. Oh, good. Yeah, it's updated my code. This should be perfect. Explains how validation works. Must always ensure all is satisfied. Yes, looks good to me. At a glance, there's my to-dos. Thank you. And then here's my new prompt, basically. Fine. We could test that. What has changed here? Oh, counters? Oh, dear. Oh, weird. I wonder if the code changed in the two languages. Make fields prompt. I feel like there was a make fields prompt, but that's okay. Yeah, interviewer. Prompt. Oh, there is not. Fields prompt string. There is not. Oh, yeah, there is. Make fields prompt. So I think it changed the implementations slightly, but that's okay. So the implementations are drifting again, but that's okay. Confidential. Count validation rules. We'll look at the test suite. The test suite defines work, definition of done, good, not good, specs. Fine. Fine, field prompt, okay. And that's the end of the diff. Okay, so what happens? Let's just run the, oh, and let's do one thing. Okay, so this is what it changed. Let's just check that in. Yeah. Chat field / interviewer. Validation. TS, right? Okay. And then hopefully the Python. So let's just prepare, right? Favorite number.py. This should update soon. Come on, there it is. Okay. Perfect. What changed? Oh, it stopped importing stuff. Fine. What else? Yeah, there's more. There's more for sure. I think it's writing new. It's writing a new diff. Yep, wonderful. Neat. Reject. Okay, wonderful. Look how it's done that. That's so weird. I don't know why it's done that. But whatever. Okay. Don't need to test it. We're done. We're done. Stop. Stop. I don't want tests. I don't want tests. Okay. Python favorite number. Is that all we need? Wonderful. Good. Let's go look at the trace. Validation rules must and reject. Always ensure that all must and reject rules are satisfied. All must rules associated field must pass. This is awesome. Any reject rule which does not pass, cut. Yep. If they provide, yes, how hints work. This is exactly the same. Must, reject, hint. Is that the right trace? It's so accurate. I want to make sure I'm on the right trace. That's like dead on. Okay. I mean, it's just string concatenation, so that's great. This order is different in TypeScript. At least it was in that run. Wonderful. So then if I say 42, it's going to say that's cliche. I'll say it's 100. the highest value. Wait, what? It's quite common? Oh no. Right. Sync it, exit. Yes. These are the factors of 99. Wonderful. I made the billion-dollar computer factor the number 99 for me. I made the language model factor the number 99. I love that. I'll never stop loving that. Okay. So perfect. Perfect. Oh, let's run some tests though. Pi test. Let's see if any tests fail. Now I'm missing some tests. I need to test this stuff, but 65 passing, npm test. If the tests pass, the thing about the test is everything I care about is basically in the tests now. So if the tests still pass, it may be incomplete. I feel like there's some difference. I feel like it's not perfect. But, oh yeah, let me just leave a message for myself, basically. I'll just say, hey, couple unit tests, or let's just leave a message for myself. Small and simple. Prompts. Prompts is out of scope. Maybe like, you know, maybe a valid and a must. How about it? We need a must pass and a must fail. No. A reject pass or reject fail. Yeah. That's fine. A hint. Actually, hint. For hint. Right. I don't care. And hinting is all about prompting. So I want super minimal unit tests on hinting. A must pass, a must fail, a reject pass, a reject fail. Do I want anything else? How about both a must and reject both pass? Yeah, I think that's good enough. And then the point is, I want this mocked like the conversation tests. Yeah, exactly. I want it mocked and live. I think this would be explicit enough. I don't think the randomness and subtleties of the LLM will make trouble here. I think if I say it must be a number between 1 and 10 and the input is 11, it's going to fail every time and so forth. So I think that's fine to put it in the test suite that way. But also I want just the explicit fixture-based, mock-based tests as well. Oh wait, do I? It's only LLM-based, so do I even care? No, I don't care. Mocking doesn't give me anything because this is all just LLM stuff. This is all, everything I've implemented today is just the LLM postponing calling the tool to record the field. So it doesn't matter about mocks at all. Not a mock. Right. For hint, maybe just check if hint is in the system prompt. That'll be a super easy one. Okay, so that'll be a couple of tests to show how validation works in the test suite. It's going to be in both languages. I'm definitely glad. This is way more fun, even though I don't enjoy concatenating strings and if else's and all of that. I don't know any better way really. the logic is so simple. It's like not worth writing like kind of optimized good code, but then you write a ton of code. I don't know. But I do love having this, system prompts be perfect. Um, this is perfect. This is perfect. Perfect. So I love that. And so I'm much happier if I had made a build system that outputs a package. Um, I'm not in that mood today. So this is awesome. So we have validation completely in the LLM and also hinting. And furthermore, the hinting is allowed to, as it were, kind of supersede the validation in terms of like structuring the conversation or setting up the conversation. So that's awesome. Validation basically works. Let me just ask Claude Code real quick. Perfect. Are there any GitHub tickets about validation? Must reject hint stuff. Oh, I'm way over time. Whoa, what changed? Oh, my notes to myself, of course. Okay, so that's my notes for tomorrow. Thank you. I love making Claude read my GitHub issues for me. I love it. Very low coffee day. Very low coffee day. $26. As percent's different. HTML form parser. Yes. Okay, these are not really relevant to me today, so this is perfect. Let me just clear that out. I'm super happy. Git push. Did I push it? Wonderful. That's my notes for tomorrow. The tests work. They work in both languages. Because it's prompting only, I'm not expecting, this is going to be easy to build. It's prompting only, so I think it's going to be super trivial to get these tests in both test suites. Going to have probably a new test suite as TypeScript calls it. TypeScript or Jest considers these each suites. So I'm going to have an eighth suite, which tests some validation rules, and it's going to be awesome. And then with the validation rules done, I guess I could leave it in my note. I think this will be completed within 3 hours, but like my typical time. So if all of that works, maybe browser. In some way. Browser would be next. Maybe it's, or a quick like excursion, updating the examples and readmes. Maybe a quick documentation update. I think the readme and all of this is not ideal. It's not sort of the best for for explaining people. I don't need to explain these features. Type safety, who cares? It needs improvement. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Okay, let me save it, log out, pushed up, everything's good. Yep, if all that works, go on the browser, update some readmes. I'm super happy. Any comments? Nope, we're good. Good, thank you. This is awesome. Massive feature validation.